What's going on, guys? So this is going to be an update video on the 2013 Honda Accord Coupe, my daily driver. So it's been a while since I did an update video, and I have actually a few things to talk about this time. So I wanted to wait to do this until I had, enough things to talk about. So these are going to be things that have happened over the past couple of months, and I'm just now finally getting around to filming it. So I've had the car for about a year and a half now, as of a few days ago, and she's held up very well. I'm very happy with this car overall. There are a couple of peeves that I have with it, namely the color, because it gets so damn dirty. And yeah, other than that, I love the car, is my point. And so we're just going to be going around it. It still looks pretty good. I do apologize for the dirtiness of the car that you'll be able to see eventually. It is winter around here, and as such, the ground and stuff are kind of wet and muddy and just nasty. So yeah, anyway, the first thing I want to talk about is actually up front, and it's not something you can see. I did a headlight upgrade on this. Now, this car comes stock with H11 bulbs for the low beam, and a popular mod is to put H9s, which are about a third brighter, and they will fit inside the housing. If you just, you basically take a Dremel and you cut out one tab on the H9, and then it plugs into the H11 connector, and it works perfectly. And there's no danger to doing this in a projector housing. Obviously, you would not want to do that in a reflector, because it'll just melt the bulb or melt the housing. But in this, it works perfectly, and it's really good because like the headlight performance is much improved on the low beam. And when you combine it with the high beams, it just, you can see everything. It's really awesome. So pretty glad I did that. So that's pretty much the only thing up front that's different. Of course, still got the red logos and all, but that's kind of old news at this point. Go ahead and take a side profile. Again, sorry about the dirt. You can kind of see that there's dirt and everything splattered on the side of the car, but that's just kind of how it is, like I said. So going around back, there's a couple of things around the back that I want to talk about. So first off, I tinted my taillights. As you may or may not be able to tell, they are a little bit darker than they were before. I didn't go crazy like some people do with this, but I used a tint film, and I actually had a guy from work, my coworker, do this for me, because we have a tint guy and a wrap guy at my dealership, and so he did this for me. And yeah, so I didn't have to pay anything, and that was cool. The only part that you can see, notice that it's a wrap, is right here. It didn't really stick because there's like an indent here on the tail light, and it didn't really stick too well to that. But that's not a big deal. You can hardly even notice it unless you're right up on it. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I think this tint is equivalent to like 35% film. You're probably gonna have to go to one of my previous videos to notice the difference right off the bat. But yeah, so I think that helps. We also did the reflectors here at the bottom with the film, just because why not? We had some leftover film, so we decided to do it. And yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So down at the bottom here, you may have noticed a new rear diffuser. I got this off eBay and decided to put it on the car. I did this a few months ago actually, but yeah, there it is. Just something simple, nothing too crazy. Like I said, just gives it a little bit more of an aggressive look, which you kind of can't really see because of the lighting right now. But yeah, going around the other side of the car, no new dents or anything, which is good. Just kind of hanging in there. So yeah, so the rest of the stuff is going to be on the inside, so I'll go ahead and open the door and talk about those. Namely, the first one is going to be these Accord door sills that I just recently got. Sorry about the dirt, like I said. But yeah, I got these Accord door sills off eBay. These aren't OEM, but they're pretty similar. They're almost identical to the OEM ones. And I was originally going to get the brushed aluminum ones that have the Accord light up in blue, but those were about $300, and I was not about to pay that. So yeah, I decided to go with those. These are pretty easy. They just have 3M tape. I just stuck them on there. Did the same on the other side, and I measured, from the running board here just to make sure they were identical, because I have OCD like that. So here's the interior. Looks about the same. I believe I mentioned the blue wrap in the last video, so nothing new there. Sorry about the dirtiness on the floor, but that's what the all-weather mats are for. So I'm gonna go ahead and climb inside and go and take a look. the rest of the stuff here. Go ahead and do the RCR feet clap before I get in. And I guess I can go ahead and start up the car before I continue. So there we go. As you may be able to tell, let me go ahead and close the door because loud exhaust. As you may be able to tell, we are at 55,586 miles. So I actually, last night, I just did an oil change on it. As you may be able to tell there. I did an oil change, tire rotation, and I also changed the manual transmission fluid again because I actually used the GM/AC Delco Synchro Mesh friction modified this time because the transmission in this car, it has always been like good, but it's never like blown me out of the water as far as that goes. And someone on the Accord Facebook group / forum, whatever community, recommended me to try the Synchro Mesh because that apparently has been done for a long time, and I did some research and it has. So the people have been doing this for quite a long time in a lot of Honda and Mazda applications on the manual transmissions. And yeah, so I decided to try it, and boy, let me tell you, it was a noticeable difference right off the bat. It just shifts very smooth. Every shift is like butter now, so it's really nice. I'm happy I did that. So that was that. I just did that last night. Other than that, the last thing I want to talk about, well, actually no, it's not the last thing, but the last like exterior mod, or interior mod I guess, is this 6-speed shift knob. So I got this off Amazon from 6-speed themselves. This was about 28 bucks, and I was looking for a new shift knob because that other one, I had like a carbon fiber one, if you guys remember. It was really cheap and it was from China. And yeah, it was originally blue, but it faded to like a silver within a matter of like a couple of months. So decided to get this one. This one is, I don't know what material this is. I guess it's like plastic or something, but it's very nice. It isn't painted. It's actually this color all the way through, so it's not going to fade or anything like that. And of course, I like the retro shift pattern on it. I thought that was kind of a neat touch. This looks kind of retro, like a car from, you know, the 70s or 80s, and I kind of like that look. So yeah, and I actually used Gorilla Tape. Believe it or not, it sounds kind of ghetto, but it works really well for this collar, because normally this collar would just flap around, because there's the stock knob has like a clip on it that this collar connects into, but obviously this knob doesn't have that. So I just used Gorilla Tape and I wrapped it around a few times until it was like just a little bit wider than the inside of this collar, and I just kind of wrestled it up there, and now it stays really nice. Like, it's not going anywhere, so I'm really happy with that. Of course, I dread the day when I have to remove all that tape, but whatever. If it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid. So there you go. And also, this happened, I think, around 4,000 miles ago now, but I was driving along one day and I just heard this growling noise coming from my dashboard, and I was like, oh no. So it turned out to be my blower fan, and obviously I fixed it now, so yeah, sounds normal. But before, it was like grinding and making weird noises, so had to replace that. That was at about 51,000 miles, so that was like, I don't know, 4,000 miles ago. But yeah, it died like 3 days before I went on a road trip, so I was like, fuck. So I had to like overnight a new blower fan from the Honda dealership to my work, and I installed it in the parking lot of my work. It's pretty easy though. You just have like a plastic cover underneath the glove box there, and that drops down. It's just clipped in, and then there's 3 screws and a connector, and then you can pull the blower fan out and just install the new one. So that was pretty easy. It took me about 5 minutes to do that, so not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, other than that, of course, the emergency brake doesn't like to stay sometimes, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. I think I pretty much updated you on everything that I had to talk about with the car. Oh, and speaking of the emergency brake, I did adjust that because the emergency brake has always been loose in this car and it wouldn't hold the car. So I just pretty much popped the back off the glove box, and then there's a little screw in there you can mess with. And yeah, it's still not great. I mean, the emergency brake on this car still isn't that great. I don't know why, but yeah, if you pull it up hard enough, it'll stay. So anyway, that's gonna be about it. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this update on my baby daily driver, and I'll see you guys in the next one.